state baseball games, and we apologize we don't have a pregame. We've had some issues with getting things set up, issues with getting some lineups, but we're getting ready here to start the third round of the Quad A state playoff games between your host, the Locust Grove High School Wildcats, and the visitors from Redan High School. Redan is the runners-up in Region 6 4A. Locust Grove, the runners-up in Region 4 4A. Today will be the first time for Locust Grove ever being in the third round of the playoffs. Redan, with a little bit more storied history, has been here before. Tyler Sellers will be starting for Locust Grove on the mound. Josh Patton behind the plate. We'll get to the lineups as we go along, but the ball's been thrown down. The umpire's cleaned off the plate, and we will get going. Leading off for Redan in the top of the first will be number 1, the center fielder, Joey Graves. The first pitch of the evening from Tyler Sellers is up high, and that'll be ball 1. Umpire crews from the Marietta Umpires Association tonight. Here's the next pitch by Tyler, and then finds his way across the plate, and that'll even the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike on the leadoff batter, Joey Graves. Graves, a small guy, hits from the right side. Sellers comes set. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball. Graves fouls off down to it past third. That'll make the count 1-2 on the center fielder. Graves slowly making his way back to the plate. We're back in, ready to go. Sellers looks in, gets his sign. Comes set. Here's the 1-2. Fastball. Slap towards the right side. Josh Fellows is over there, makes the play. And Graves is retired 4-3. And that'll bring up the second baseman, number 9, James Nelson. Sellers pitching from the stretch. Reaches in. Here's the pitch. Off speed upstairs. That'll be ball 1 on the second baseman, Nelson from Redan. Sellers with the 1-0. Upstairs with the fastball. It makes it 2-0. Redan, the team that coached by Coach Pruitt, Coach Hartnett, and Coach Sapp. Redan 24-6 on the year. Again, out of Region 6 4A. Here's 2-0 by Sellers. Catches the outside corner, and that'll make the count 2-1. Sellers peeks in, gets the sign. Here's the 2-1. Fastball. Nelson swings through it. That'll make the count 2-2 on the Redan second baseman. Two. Nelson slaps it over towards right field. Tyler Duncan moves back a few steps and makes the catch. And that'll be out number 2 for Redan here in the top of the first. That'll bring to the plate the shortstop, number 17, Wesley Jones. Jones, a highly touted prospect from Redan. Sellers comes set, deals. Off-speed pitch, stays upstairs. 1-0 on the Redan shortstop. Beautiful day for baseball. Upper 70s. Not a cloud hardly in the sky. No breeze. Here's a 1-0 by Sellers. Fastball throws it by Jones. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Josh Patton doing the catching today for the Locust Grove Wildcats. 1-1 pitch is in the dirt. That'll make the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Sorry, guys, for the delays. We're trying to work the scoreboard and do the radio and internet feed at the same time. Flying solo on the mic. We got JT over on the computer. The 1-2 pitch thrown by Jones. That'll make the count 2-2. We'll be joined later on in the broadcast by Coach Lee and Coach Shook and Coach Shockley. The 2-2. There's a curveball hit down towards Shoemaker at third. He throws the ball in the dirt. The ball gets by the first baseman, Drew Young, and Wesley Jones will move his way over to second base. And so a 2-out error on the third baseman will bring to the plate Brandon Baker, the first baseman for Redan. Baker, a left-handed hitter. Shoemaker goes in, talk to Sellers. Sure, he was telling him my bad. I'll get the next one. Any way you look at it, Redan has a runner on second, 2 outs. Still top of the first. Game 1, round 3, the 4A state baseball playoffs. Sellers gets a sign, comes set. Off-speed pitch. Called a strike. That'll make the count 0-1 on the Brandon Baker, the first baseman for Redan. Sellers set. Another breaking ball. Baker fouls it off at the plate, and quickly the count's 0-2 on the left-handed hitting first baseman. Here's the 0-2. Curveball ripped through the hole at first base. Here's the ball hit to right field and play at the plate. Ball's knocked down by Patton. And Brandon Baker with an 0-2 RBI single to right field. Drives home Wesley Jones. And quickly Redan has jumped out to a 1-0 lead on Locust Grove. All this started with a 2-out error. 2-out error and an 0-2 base hit. Not exactly what you're looking for in the playoffs. We ain't got time to talk about it, but mistakes get magnified in the playoffs. You can't walk folks, can't make errors. And here was a 2-out error. It cost Locust Grove a run. And there's a inside-out swing by number 15, William Tregmer. Excuse me if I messed up his name. And he slices a base hit to right field. Brandon Baker will move over to third base on the hit. That'll bring up the left fielder, Bakari Gale. 2 outs, first and third for Redan. Redan with first and third. Not sure if Locust Grove has called a first and third defense. Sellers come set. Kicks and fires. Curveball stays outside. The 1-0 is fouled straight back by Bakari Gale. Here comes Patton out to call first and third defense on the 1-1 count. Sellers looks in, gets his message. Here's a curveball that stays upstairs, and that'll make the count 2 balls and 1 strike on Bakari Gale. Sellers comes set, looks at home. There's a changeup across the outside corner, makes the count 2-2. Number 15, Williams, moves up. Big pitch right here for Sellers. Here's the 2-2. It's outside, makes the count 3-2 on Bakari Gale. Runners at second and third now. 2 outs. 1-0 Redan early. Game 1. Number 8, Miles 4 on deck. Sellers gets the sign. Here's the 3-2. It's upstairs, and that'll be ball 4 to Bakari Gale. And that'll load the bases up for Redan here in the top of the first, and it'll bring to the plate number 8, the DH, Miles 4. Tyler struggling a little bit after getting the first 2 batters fairly easy. Had 2 strikes from the third batter who reached on an error, then an 0-2 base hit, and now Redan has the bases loaded. Here's the first pitch. 4 fouls it down past the first base side, out of play. Quickly, Sellers gets ahead in the count, 0-1. We have time being called on the play. All right, looks like everybody's ready to go, and here we are. Sellers picks in, gets a sign, comes set, kicks, delivers home. There's a chopper through the hole at shortstop. Here comes 1 run in. There's a second run, and quickly Redan is on the board, 3-0, as Brandon Baker and Tregan Williams both come across the score. That'll put runners at first and second. Still 2 outs. And coming to the plate will be number 10, the right fielder, Ken Elder. Elder takes the first pitch upstairs and for ball 1. Here's the 1-0. There's a swing and a drive towards the right center field gap. Tyler Duncan on his horse, and he makes a running catch, and that'll be out number 3 for Redan in the top of the first. Not before they score 3 runs on a couple of hits. There was an error We had a base on ball, 2 runners left. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Redan 3, Locust Grove coming to bat.
This is irritating. That was mouse pool.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Alright, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
All right, welcome back. Locust Grove, we get the bottom of the first inning underway. Redan jumps out quickly to a 3-0 lead. On the mound for Redan tonight, we have number 6, Cordelius Dorsey, hard-throwing left-hander. Leading off for Locust Grove will be the center fielder, number 20, Cortez McDowell. And the first pitch by Dorsey is fouled off down the first base side by Cortez, and quickly Dorsey is ahead in the count. 0-1. The 0-1 pitch is hit sharply at the third baseman, and the first baseman is pulled off the bag, and Cortez will reach first base on the E5. Next, that'll bring Josh Fellows to the plate. Fellows takes the first pitch, fastball across the outside corner. 1 strike. Dorsey looks in, gets a sign, kicks and fires. Fellows bunts the ball right back at the pitcher. Dorsey throws it to first, gets out 1, moves Cortez over to second base. Next, that'll bring up number 3, Tyler Sellers. Sellers, the pitcher, gave up 3 runs in the top of the first. None of them earned. In fact, I'm not real sure Tyler's given up an earned run in the playoffs so far this year. There's the first pitch to Tyler. Curveball taken in the dirt. That'll make the count 1-0 on the Locust Grove pitcher. And there's a pickoff attempt on Cortez McDowell back at second. And Throw was a little to the first base side, or Cortez would have probably been picked off. Pitcher comes set, kicks and fires. There's a strike across the inside corner. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Pitcher comes set, kicks, fires to home. Breaking ball across the outside corner. That'll be strike 2 on the Locust Grove pitcher. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Fastball down in the dirt. That'll make the count 2-2. There's a pickoff attempt back the second again on Cortez. Cortez easier time getting back this time around. Dorsey comes set, delivers. Fastball stayed upstairs. And the count's quickly 3-2 on the Locust Grove pitcher, Tyler Sellers. Sellers takes the 3-2 pitch and hits a ground ball at third. He's out at first. Cortez will move up on the throw across the diamond. That'll be 2 outs for Locust Grove here in the bottom of the first. That'll bring to the plate the third baseman, number 22, John Shoemaker. Shoemaker takes the 1-0 pitch and lifts it into shallow center field, and the center fielder comes on and makes a diving catch. Outstanding play by Joey Graves in center field. Now we'll do it for Locust Grove here in the top of the first. Locust Grove had no runs on no hits. There was 1 error, one guy left, and we'll go to the second inning. Redan 3, Locust Grove 0.
That's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Looks at an outside corner fastball by Tyler Sellers. Count goes 0-1. Layton back in there. Sellers gets the sign, comes set, kicks and fires. Breaking ball outside, that'll make the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Sellers with the 1-1 curveball stays upstairs and gets 2-1 on Tyler Layton, the Redan catcher. Sellers fires. Layton fouls it off over the first base dugout, and that'll make the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sellers trying to come out and get a quick inning after what looked to be a quick inning in the first. But with 2 outs, Redan put together 3 unearned runs. Here's the 2-2 by Sellers. Off-speed pitch hit hard at the shortstop. Comes up on Dalton Coons and kicks into center field. And that will be an E6. And Redan will have a runner on. They will put in a courtesy runner. Looks like number 4, Nick Solomon.
Now batting number 1 for Redan, Joey Graves.
All right, excuse me for the delay, folks. We got a little help up here in the booth. Coach Shook making his debut to the 3rd round of the state playoffs. For Redan, the leadoff batter, Joey Graves will come up, and he sees the first pitch out into the left center field gap. Cortez, with no problem, tracks it down. That'll be 1 out here in the bottom of the the top of the 2nd inning for Redan.
For second baseman.
Yeah.
Your second baseman, number 9, James Nelson.
Nelson, the second baseman, will be up next. Nelson flied out to right field his first time at bat. Sellers peeks in, gets the sign, comes set. Kicks and fires. Outside fastball, and the runner takes off, and nice throw by Josh Patton. He will retire Nick Solomon at second base. And that will be 2 outs for Redan here in the top of the 2nd inning. Patton got a good fastball to throw. Nelson skins this high fly ball right into the left field. Jordan Hartman, and that'll do it for Redan in the top of the 2nd. They had no runs, no hits. There was 1 error, but nobody left. We'll go to the bottom of the 2nd. Redan 3, Locust Grove 0.
It is. Here, we'll take a darn picture of it.
15, Trey Williams.
It is. Yeah, we'll take that.
Okay.
What's number you need?
Number 2,
Number 2 is Bakari Gale.
B-A-R.
B-A-K-A-R-I.
Gale.
Yep.
J-Y-L. 8 is
Miles Ford.
For FOUR.
Yep, F-O-R-E. Anyway.
All right. Who's the next batter? Number.
Number 10, 4 is hitting for 10.
All right.
So you need the next hitter. 6 is Dorsey.
What's his first name?
Cordarius.
Cordarius.
Yeah.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
What inning are we in?
Bottom of the second. Oh, yeah, do that.
Leading off the bottom of the second inning for Locust Grove, number 21, Jordan Hartman.
All right, welcome back, Locust Grove. If we start the bottom of the second, leading off for Locust Grove will be number 21, the left fielder, Jordan Hartman. Locust Grove trying to claw the way back into the game in an early 3-0 deficit. The lefty from Redan, Cordarius Dorsey, delivers the first pitch. It's upstairs. The next pitch is a strike. That makes the count 1 ball, 1 strike. One pitch is the curveball across the plate for a strike on Jordan Hartman. Jordan probably hasn't seen too many lefties at this caliber in his career. The 1-2 upstairs makes the count 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch is thrown behind Jordan. That'll make the count 3-2. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Fastball. Down and down. And that'll make Jordan Hartman go to first base on the base on ball. That'll bring to the plate the first baseman.
Locust Grove, number 6, Drew Young.
Drew Young, the first baseman. Drew a hot hitter in the first 2 rounds of the playoff. First pitch to Drew, swinging high fly ball into center field. The center fielder Graves has it, and Drew Young is quickly retired for the first out in the inning. That'll bring up the shortstop. Number 4, Dalton Coons. Dalton, the Game 3 winner in the second round against Mary Persons. Pitched 6 full innings. Relieved in the 7th by Tyler Duncan. First pitch to Dalton's a fastball across the inside corner, makes the count 0-1. There's a pick off the first base by the Redan pitcher. Dorsey, Hartman back easy. Dorsey comes set, kicks, fires. Breaking ball, little pop-up hit right behind second base. Right fielder Ken Elder comes in and makes the play. Hartman gets back to first.
Your batter, number 10, the right fielder, Tyler Duncan.
That'll bring up Tyler Duncan, number 10, the right fielder. Tyler who come in and got the save against Mary Persons in Game 3. Dorsey's first pitch is downstairs. That makes the count 1-0 on Tyler Duncan. The 1-0 pitch is a fastball across the inside plate, and that makes the count 1-1. Duncan calls time at the plate. Dorsey looks in, gets a sign, kicks, fires. Fastball out of third, and Duncan pops it up towards the shortstop. The shortstop, Jones, will make the catch, and that'll be 3 outs here for Locust Grove in the bottom of the second. There's no runs, no hits. There was 1 walk and run 1 left on base. We'll be back for top of the third. Redan 3, Locust Grove 0.
Who's the last batter for Redan? Jones?
Nelson.
Nelson? Okay, so we got Wesley Jones, the shortstop, coming up. Hey, Tyler. We have 34 good physicals. I don't think we have a single softball girl.
We can get a planner up here. Ah, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
All right, welcome back to Locust Grove. We start the top of the third. The shortstop, Wesley Jones, will be leading off for Redan. Jones reached on the air his first at bat in the first inning with 2 outs and started a 3-run rally. Sellers comes set, fires. Jones swings through a fastball. Sellers with the 0-1 pitch. Another fastball catches the outside corner, and quickly Wesley Jones is behind in the count 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball outside. Jones fights it off. Good 0-2 pitch. Just didn't get it outside quite far enough. Sellers, 0-2. Breaking ball. Off the outside corner, the umpire calls it strike 3, and that'll be out number 1 here in the top of the third inning.
The first baseman, number 11, Brandon Baker.
That brings Brandon Baker to the plate. Baker with an RBI single, his first at bat. First pitch is down in the dirt. That'll make the count 1-0. The 1-0 pitch by Sellers is fastball down the middle. Quickly evens the count. 1 ball, 1 strike on the Redan first baseman Baker. 1-1 pitch is in the dirt, and the count's 2-1. The 2-1 pitch is outside, and quickly it's 3-1 for Redan's first baseman, Baker. Sellers having to work a little bit. We're going to welcome into the booth Coach Shook here after this batter. Here's the 3-1, and it hits Baker, and he'll get to first base. And there's a one-out hit by pitch by Locust Grove. And we want to welcome in Coach Shook. Coach Shook to the booth so we can talk about this Marietta umpires. And we got a guy behind the plate named Don Core who's been around for a little while, Coach.
Well, Coach, you want to start talking about knowing baseball right here is one of the best in the business. Don Core built a program at Jonesboro High School, successful program, coached great kids like Craig McClendon who made it to the Texas Rangers. Coach, I'm going to tell you what, I wouldn't want nobody else behind the plate but him. He's
done a great job here in the first couple of innings. Coach, something you may not know is when he left Jonesboro to go up north, and first pitch to Williams is a called strike, I interviewed for his job and had a chance to get it and took my name out at the very last minute. They called me for a third interview, and I said, Coach, I'm just going to have to decline.
That'd be some hard shoes to fill right there.
It
but
was.
I'll tell you, Coach Core does an excellent job as you wait on the next pitch right here by Sellers.
Hey, Sellers picks over the first. Baker back easily.
I believe Core now is with the Cherokee County School System.
County Athletic Director, I believe, Coach.
Can't get any easier for him, can it?
No. He left Jonesboro to go up to be the AD, I believe it was at Etowah, and then became the Athletic Director for the whole county. And still spending his time on the baseball field, as you can see. We're 1-1 on the third baseman, Williams. The 1-1 pitch catches the outside corner, and that'll make the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Williams a big guy. Williams with a single his first at bat. Sellers come set, 1-2. Here's the pitch. Fastball Williams can't catch up with, and that'll be out number 2 here in the top of the third. That's the second strikeout of the inning, second strikeout of the game for Sellers. And that'll bring to the plate the left fielder, number 2, Bakari Gale. Gale walked his first at bat.
Coach Redan, that's a big player right there that you saw in Williams, but I don't think they could be quite as big as Mary Persons were this past week.
Mary Persons had some big boys. You're right, Coach. Redan may give them a run for the money. I tell you what, Redan is a very athletic team. We've seen an outstanding catch already by the center fielder coming up, making a diving catch. Very athletic. Here's the first pitch to Gale, and it's called strike across the outside corner.
And there's one thing, Coach, about having a former coach behind the plate is he knows the strike zone. He knows what he liked as a coach and what pitchers liked as the strike zone. And I think that he gives a compliment to the pitchers as they throw.
One thing I've noticed already, Coach, is Sellers has made some 0-1, 0-2 pitches off that outer third of the plate. And the 0-1 is upstairs, makes the count 1-1. And he's extended that outer third of the plate because as a coach, you want to extend the outer third of the plate when you got 0-2 counts. And we've seen Redan take some shots at right field already, so both people trying to make adjustments. 1-1 pitch is rolled in the hole towards shortstop, kicks off Dalton into left field. I believe we're going to have an infield single for Gale, but the ball kicking off Dalton is going to allow Baker to move over to third base. And Redan is going to be first and third.
The designated hitter, Miles Ford.
First and third with 1 out. First and third with 2 outs. Here in the top of the third.
Locust Grove putting on the first and third call right here, Coach. what would you do?
Coach, they had this in the first inning. They just let the guy steal the base. Miles Ford had an RBI, a single that dropped in two RBIs in the first inning. So they let a guy steal in the first inning. They threw a guy out in the second inning. So, Coach, I really don't know what they're going to do.
And I know that's one thing that Coach Phillips has expressed a concern with is the speed that Redan has. And, of course, anytime you're playing a team with a great deal of speed, you really can't just take that chance to try to go down to second maybe because you want to save the run before you worry about the guy going to second.
And, Coach, we've seen it already in the playoff series for Locust Grove with Cortez McDowell and what he's done. And here's the first pitch, and Locust Grove fouls it right back at the pitcher. Nothing happening from third, but Gale gets his stolen base. 1 ball. First pitch was a ball. I thought it was a strike myself.
I believe that's what the scoreboard had there, Coach.
Yeah. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Ford hits a long fly ball in the right field.
Great try by Duncan, but just not there, Coach.
And Coach Ford out of the box is going to have a stand-up triple, and he is going to have, Coach, his 3rd and 4th RBIs of the night. That'll make the score 5-0 Redan here in the top of the 3rd.
Your batter, the catcher, number 16, Tyler Lawton. Excuse me, that'll be the pitcher, Cedric Dorsey.
That'll bring Dorsey to the plate. Dorsey flied out to right field his first at bat. I heard the phone ringing. Somebody might have made a call to the bullpen already. Dorsey takes the first pitch down in the dirt. Nice stop by the catcher, Josh Patton, to keep 4 over at third base. Locust Grove not in a position to really give up any more right now. Already down 5-0. Redan already sending their 17th guy to the plate here in the top of the 3rd. To give you a perspective, Locust Grove has sent 8 batters to the plate. There's a strike. That'll make the count 1-1.
You know, Coach Davis, Coach Phillips has done an excellent job with these kids, a lot of young kids. He's done an excellent job with them. And getting them this far right here is just amazing for what he's had this year. But these young kids can compete, Coach.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's a curveball call for a strike. And Coach, you're right. Their team that is young, got a lot of talent, but has had a great year, and team that'll fight back. If I wouldn't give Redan the game 5-0 because Locust Grove has the ability to come back. They've been behind in the season and fought back. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and it's rolled over to first base, and Drew Young makes the catch and steps on first. And that'll do it for Redan here in the top of the 3rd, but not before they have 2 runs on 2 hits. There was a hit batsman, 1 error. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. Redan 5, Locust Grove 0.
1 match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
1 shot at this.
Well, I'm going to tell you something else, too. When he's throwing out an outside pitch, they're taking it that way.
They have hit, look here, they had ground ball 4, F9. The RBI single went that way. F9. Triple that way. They've already hit 7 balls to right field, to the right side. I'll tell you one thing, though, they get out there too. They get out there.
Now batting for Locust Grove, number 11, the catcher, Josh Patton.
Welcome back to Locust Grove as we start the bottom of the 3rd. Leading off for the Wildcats will be the catcher, number 11, Josh Patton. Dorsey on the mound for Redan. Redan staked to a 5-0 lead here, so we start the bottom of the third. Here's the first pitch. And it'll be a fastball across the outside corner, and quickly Dorsey's ahead. No balls and 1 strike. 5-0 lead. If you're Redan, you got to make those strikes. Locust Grove's going to get back in this game. They're going to have to earn it. Here's a curveball. Ask for help down at first and say check the swing. That'll make the count 1 ball and 1 strike. One pitch is inside. That'll make the count 2-1 on the Locust Grove catcher. Dorsey comes set. Patton hits a line drive right at the center fielder. Graves hauls it in, and that'll be 1 out here for Locust Grove in the bottom of the third, excuse me.
Your batter, the leadoff batter, number 20, center fielder, Cortez McDowell.
That's already 4 fly balls hit at the center fielder. Locust Grove hadn't struck out, putting the ball in play, just in there right at the Redan Raiders. Next
Coach,
up,
I think that's what you want to do right there.
Keep in line drives. They're going to eventually fall in, Coach. Brings up the leadoff batter, Cortez McDowell, who takes the first pitch. Curveball outside.
And, Coach, that's one thing when you sit here and you look at it. As a coach, you tell your kids, just keep making contact and let good things happen from that. And Locust Grove is, doing the best, putting the ball in play, but Redan is just right there on top of it.
Locust Grove is making quality at bats. Second pitch to Cortez is outside corner for a strike, and Cortez takes the next pitch and hits it right back up the middle, and there's a base hit for Cortez.
And Coach, that's what we're talking about right there. You got to just put it in play.
Cortez gets on base for the second time tonight. He had reached his first time with an E5.
Number 7, the second baseman, Josh Fellows.
That'll bring number 7, Josh Fellows, the second baseman in game 1 today. Fellows with a sacrifice bunt, his first at bat. And there's a strike called on Fellows, who squared around the bunt. Cortez took off for second and steals the base fairly easily. So Locust Grove will have Cortez McDowell down at second, 1 out. Don't really believe Fellows was bunting there. I believe it was just fake bunting and give Cortez a chance to steal. Dorsey comes set, fires. Fellows swings at one in the dirt. Quickly, Fellows is behind 0-2 on the count. Here's the 0-2 in on the hands of Fellows, who hits a ground ball at the third baseman. Third baseman comes up and fires to first to retire Fellows. Cortez will move up on the throw. And that'll bring to the plate the pitcher, number 3, Tyler Sellers.
Number 3, your pitcher, Tyler Sellers.
Sellers grounded out to the third baseman his first time up. Dorsey steps off.
Coach, you noticed there when the ball went to first right there, they didn't want to try to attempt to throw out Cortez at third.
Coach, the same thing happened in the first inning. The first pitch to Sellers is upstairs for ball 1. Same thing happened in the first inning, and it wasn't even close. I think they learned a little bit. That's what speed does for you, Coach. 1-0 to Sellers is outside, and that makes the count 2-0 on the Locust Grove pitcher.
Of course, McDowell has speed, and but when you look out across Redan, you know that every one of those have Cortez McDowell's style of speed.
The 2-0 is downstairs, makes the count 3-0. And, Coach, you weren't here, but we need to mention this, that Cortez McDowell before the game. He has been nominated for consideration in the U.S. Army All-American Bowl for next year.
That's a great honor right there to play in the U.S. Army All-American
That would
Bowl.
be in San Antonio just after the first of the year. Tyler takes a 3-0 pitch across the outside corner, makes the count 3-1. 3-1 pitch is outside, and Sellers will make his way down to first base. Courtesy running for Tyler will be number 2, Keenan
Courtesy
Wise.
runner for Sellers, number 2, Keenan Wise.
That'll bring to the plate number 22, John Shoemaker. Shoemaker flied out to center his first at bat.
Number 22, the third baseman, Johnny Shoe. Coach, I think I announced that in the wrong microphone.
That's all right, Coach. I don't know how many people listen to us anyway. Even though, Coach, I tell you, I had 2 people today tell me they've been listening to our internet service. So the first pitch to Shoemaker is across the inside corner. And, Coach, one thing this Redan guy has done is he's hit that inside corner, and the Locust Grove guys have backed up. I don't believe they're used to anybody trying to get inside on them like this guy has.
Well, I can tell you, Coach, that's no matter how many people are listening, I know that with soccer, I did the soccer and had a great time with it, and I know that you're having a great time doing the baseball.
Coach, if nothing else, we have a good time up here. Shoemaker fouls the 0-1 pitch off the third base side. That'll make the count 0-2 on the Locust Grove third baseman. Here's the 0-2. Outside just a little bit. That makes the count 1-2. Keenan Wise moves up to second base. Sort of a catcher's indifference right there. But anyway, Locust Grove's got runners at second and third. Chance to cut into this 5-0 deficit. 1-2 on Shoemaker. Shoemaker fouls the pitch off over the first base dugout. In the first base dugout gutter. We won't be getting that one back. Shoemaker shaking his hand. I believe he get that one right off the handle.
Shoemaker is so strong and so powerful, Coach, that, when he gets a hold of the ball and gets on the end of the bat right there, I don't care where it's at, he can still drive the baseball.
The 1-2 pitch must have been a little high. Makes the count 2-2. And Shoemaker, being a good hitter, if he makes this pitcher work, he'll get a pitch he likes and is going to hit it hard somewhere. Dorsey gets his sign, comes set, kicks and fires. Here's a fastball that's down and in. That makes the count 3-2 on the Locust Grove third baseman. Jordan Hartman, the Locust Grove left fielder, waits on deck. Dorsey kicks the payoff pitch. Fastball. Shoemaker sends it into right field. The right fielder, Elder's underneath it, and that'll be out 3 for Locust Grove here in the bottom of the third. Locust Grove threatened but couldn't push anything across. They have 1 run. No runs, 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 men left on base. We'll head to the top of the fourth. Redan 5, Locust Grove 0.
When's Randy going to get here?
I don't know. I don't know how they practice football. You're going to have to use the mics.
I set these physicals up a month ago.
Coach, it ain't your
And
fault.
I couldn't do nothing about it.
Coach,
16.
who announces your basketball game?
Nobody usually.
But if you want somebody who takes care of it.
Clint. I do.
Exactly right.
You good? Leading off the top of the fourth for Redan, number 16.
Welcome back to Locust Grove as we start off the top of the fourth. Tyler Layton will lead off the inning. Layton with a E6 his first at bat. He nubs one up the middle, and Dalton Coons comes across behind second base, and Dalton is going to boot that ball. That'll be the third error today on the shortstop from Locust Grove, and the second time on Layton.
Number 1, the center fielder, Joey Graves.
To Dalton's, I mentioned a word about Dalton is Dalton has had 3 tough ground balls, and he's just been eaten up by them. It hadn't been because Dalton hadn't tried to make the play.
And that's something, Coach, you don't see a lot out of
No.
Dalton Kuhn because he's normally just a sound defensive player out there.
Coach, he had a ball come up on him, and that one was just he went on the second base side to try to make that play and caught an in-between hop on one. You know, that's not Dalton Coons, but, you know, I know him as a competitor. The next one hit at him, he's going to try to get it just as much as he did that one. I'm going to bring Coach Phillips out to the mound just to settle Dalton down.
And you know what? Coach Phillips does a good job coming out there because, you know, he knows these kids really well. And, you know, he really feels like that he is a deep part of these kids. And you can talk to Cortez McDowell, and, you know, Cortez told him one time that he even looks at him as a father figure. And that says a lot for your coach when your kids look at you like that.
Yes. That's the strength of Coach Phillips, is his relationship with these kids.
Of course, I can tell you, coaching basketball, I don't know if mine look at me as a father figure, but they're always there for me.
That'll bring up the leadoff batter, Graves, who lays a bunt down the first base side. Sellers will come up, and the ball will kick into right field, and Graves will stay at first. But the courtesy runner, Nick Solomon, will move over to third. And, Coach, we're going to have to give an error on the pitcher. Mm-hmm.
Your batter, number 9, the second baseman, James Nelson.
That'll be 5 errors on Locust Grove so far here in game number 1. Puts runners at first and third with no outs for Redan, and brings up the second baseman, Nelson, who has flied out to left field and right field so far.
And, Coach, that's not typical Locust Grove baseball right there.
No. And Coach,
you don't make it this far in the Elite 8.
And when you get this far, Coach, you have to play sound defense because this is when things are magnified. And there's a ball hit to the right side, and Josh Fellows, he fumbles it. The courtesy runner, Nick Solomon, is going to score on the play. Graves is going to move up to second. Nelson's going to be safe at first. That's going to be error number 6. That'll bring to the plate the shortstop, number 17, Wesley Jones.
Shortstop, number 17, Wesley Jones. And like you said, Coach, when you get in the playoffs right here, this becomes magnified because this is not a typical Locust Grove team right here. It's you're playing a very, very good team in Redan, and I think that's what's happening is just it's come to a point where just maybe the focus is not there like it has been before, but still, Locust Grove they're a much better team than this right now.
Coach, they moved up in competition a little bit today. Jones takes the first pitch and hits it to deep center field.
The first baseman, number 11, Brandon Baker.
Graves will tag up and move over to third, and that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Brandon Baker. Baker with an RBI singles first at bat, hit by a pitch his second at bat. 1 out here in the top of the fourth. Redan up 6-0. And, Coach, I just got a message that early on you did announce into the wrong mic, but you know, Coach, if somebody can tell us we did it wrong, that means somebody's listening.
I agree with you, Coach.
Sellers comes set, fires. Great off-speed pitch to number 11, Baker, who swings and misses.
And, Coach, just to mention, I will only be here until Coach Randy Lee gets here.
Coach Lee over at football practice. And Nelson takes off from first base and moves up to second on the catcher's indifference, and Redan will have second and third. The pitch was a strike to Baker. Quickly 0-2 on the Redan first baseman. Back to Coach Leo. He's over at football practice. Locust Grove's able to start their spring football this week. Baker rips the ball down the right field line. That'll be 2 RBIs for Baker. Baker, who is going to go to third, and he will be out, but not before he has 2 RBIs on the double down the first baseline. That'll be 3 RBIs for Baker so far, and Coach, I got to tell you, that's 2 hits for Baker, 3 RBIs, and both times the hits came on 0-2 pitches.
Your batter, number 15, the third baseman, Trey Williams.
The bases are clear, but I'll bring up the third baseman, Williams, with a single and a strikeout so far in the game.
And, Coach, back to what you were saying, that just teaches great patience that Redan has on waiting for the pitch and finding the right pitch, because, they find something that comes out there, maybe a little bit off the plate, and still able to drive it as he did on that one out there down the first baseline. An excellent hit.
Very, very disciplined up at the plate. So far we're in the 4th inning. We have Tyler Sellers has 2 strikeouts. And, Coach, last week he had 12 through 6. So Redan doing a great job at the plate. The next pitch to Williams, he swings and misses, makes the count 1-1.
And there's one thing about it, Coach. You have to play fundamental baseball right now. That's the key to the success right now for Locust Grove.
Good teams don't need any extra help. Williams sends a long drive in their center field, but this big park will hold it. Cortez McDowell drifts back and makes the catch, and that'll do it for Redan here in the top of the 4th, but not before they score 3 runs. They have 3 hits. There were 3 errors. Nobody left on base, and we'll head to the bottom of the 4th. Redan 8, Locust Grove 0.
That must have been. I don't know who this number is. They said, "Hey, y'all sound great."
Did it really? I don't think I did anything to you.
Welcome back to Locust Grove. We start the bottom of the 4th inning. Leading off will be Jordan Hartman. Hartman reached on base by base on ball his first at bat.
Coach, I'm going to tell you something about this young man right here. If you want to know why he leads the team in hitting, go to the weight room in the mornings. That right there is the reason. He is an avid worker out in the weight room.
Very strong kid. And, Coach, he hasn't got a lot of hits in the playoffs, but he's gotten on base quite a bit. He's got hit by a couple of pitches, walked 3 or 4 times. And his average, even when his average hadn't been great in the playoffs, he's getting on base. He swings at a curveball and quickly falls behind 0-2 right here in the bottom of the 4th.
And I think that's one thing that you have to look at, Coach. You have to look at the on-base percentage of these kids, and that's one of the reasons Locust Grove has had the success they've had.
Well, sometimes even when you're not getting hits, if you can do something to contribute, and there he takes a strike through curveball. Not a guy with a lot of experience, and it shows when you faced a good lefty-on-lefty matchup right there, but has done a great job for Locust Grove in a short time. That'll bring to the plate Drew Young.
The first baseman, Drew Young.
Drew flied out to center field his last at bat. And there's a pitch down and in for ball one.
I think he thought he had something on his shoe and was going to try and knock it off for him, Coach.
Drew, one of the hottest hitters the first 2 rounds. Hit the ball hard his first time at bat. Next pitch is upstairs, and Drew Young is quickly ahead, 2-0. Drew so far in the first 2 series has pitched game 2 for Locust Grove. Not sure who's taking the hill game 2 today. Drew takes the next pitch downstairs, and it's 3-0 on the Locust Grove first baseman. Pitches across for a strike. That makes it 3-1 on Drew. Taking all the way.
And, Coach, one thing right here Locust Grove has to do is keep focused and understand that this game goes 7 innings.
Keep hitting the ball, Coach. In the 3-1 pitch, Drew lifts into right field, right at the right fielder, Elder, and that'll be out number 2 for Locust Grove. Coach, Locust Grove's only struck out 1 time and has hit the ball fairly hard the whole game. Keep swinging. You know, you're going to play 2 today.
Batter, number 4, the shortstop, Dalton Kuhn.
Dalton Coons, the shortstop, will be up next. Dalton flowed out to right field his first time. The first pitch to Dalton is off the plate a little bit. Dalton fouls the second pitch back and evens the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Coach, I got to give a shout-out to the Redan fans over here who are smart enough to bring a tent and use it as a little shade.
It's hot today, Coach.
It's nice to have baseball weather. No rain. It's not cold. Wind's not blowing one bit. The 1-1 pitch, Dalton fouls it back at the screen. Makes the count 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And, Coach, as the head coach right here, what do you have to tell your kids coming into the dugout when you're down like you are right now?
Well, Coach, we've talked about it. You're hitting the ball hard. Keep hitting the ball. They're going to start finding holes. You know, that's what you got to tell them offensively. Defensively, and the difference in the game is you have 6 errors, Redan has 1, is make the routine plays, and which is it's so simple, but you know it. Make the routine plays. Keep hitting the ball hard. Dalton Coons swings over a curveball, and that'll do it for Dalton here in the bottom of the 4th, and that'll do it for Locust Grove. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We go to the 5th. Redan 8, Locust Grove 0.
We've struck out twice. They've struck out twice.
When you hit the ball out of nowhere, there's no you can do.
What I notice is top to bottom, they're stronger. You know, like Cortez hit that hard ball in the middle. They got 4 or 5.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/
Redan. Should be Nelson,
Yeah. No, Gale.
Gale,
Yeah, F.
Macaria Gale.
Yeah.
Now batting for Redan.
Welcome back, Locust Grove, as we start the top of the 5th inning.
Macaria Gale.
Redan up 8-0. Leading off for Redan will be the left fielder, Gale. Gale with a base on ball and a single in his previous 2 at-bats. Tyler Sellers still pitching for Locust Grove.
And, Coach, one thing we were talking about there during the break was basically mental focus in this situation. It's still baseball. And regardless of how you look at it, you got to play fundamental baseball.
Got to play fundamental baseball. First pitch to Gale was upstairs. Second pitch catches off the plate. That'll make the count 2-0. For Locust Grove in the bullpen now is number 29, 23. Levi Knight, we had some difficulties with our feed. Hopefully we got it straightened out. The next pitch is swung on and missed by Gale, makes the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Gale takes the next pitch and fouls it off the right side, makes it 2-2. I'd like to give a shout out to our boys basketball coach who's come up and paid us a visit.
Coach Greg Wilson.
2-2 pitches outside, and it's 3-2 on the left fielder Gale for Redan.
You know what, Coach, as Stellar steps off the mound right here and time's given to the batter, I know Coach Phillips knows that he teaches these kids to have patience and to play fundamental baseball, but there's one thing about it. When you step up there, it's all on you as a player.
That's it, Coach. That's it. And Gale fouls the 3-2 pitch over the first base dugout. We understand we're having some issues with our video feed. We'll try to figure it out. 3-2 pitch again to Gale. Fouls off the first base side. Drew Young gets over and gives a look and has room. And that'll retire Gale for the first out here in the top of the fifth.
Now batting number 8, the designated hitter, Miles Ford.
This brings Miles Ford to the plate, the designated hitter. 2 for 2 on the day with 4 RBIs. Sellers comes set, kicks and fires. Ford drifts one into center field. Cortez McDowell will get up underneath it. And, Coach, I guess Ford needs to hit when it's an 0-2 count. But Locust Grove will take it. And that'll bring to the plate the pitcher.
Number 6, the pitcher, Cordarius Dorsey.
Number 6, Dorsey. Dorsey with the fly ball to right field and a ground ball to the first baseman. But so far is doing a great job on the mound for Redan. Dorsey tries to bunt the first pitch, fouls it straight back, and Coach, this is what Sellers needs is a quick inning. He's gotten hit around a little bit. Defense has let him down. He needs to get out of this inning with as little damage as possible.
I agree with you, Coach. A good inning right here can boost his confidence, maybe boost the confidence of the dugout as well.
And as soon as we say that, Dorsey hits a little blooper over the shortstop, and he'll have his first hit of the day.
Your batter, number 16, the catcher, Tyler Layton.
Courtesy runner for the pitcher at first base will be number 5, Marquise Glenn.
Go ahead.
That'll bring the catcher Layton to the plate. Layton 0 for 2 on the day, but has reached base twice for errors by the shortstop. Taking a few minutes here so the umpire can write down the courtesy runner's number.
Coach, it tends to go both ways. Just got a phone call, said that through the PA system here, that the commentary is coming through the PA system.
Oh, I hope we ain't said nothing bad, Coach. For y'all on the radio, it seems like our commentary is coming over the PA system. Here's the first pitch to Layton. It's a fastball inside. And quickly the catcher's ahead 1-0.
Learned a long time ago, Coach. When you're talking, make sure you know who's listening.
You're right, Coach. I probably got myself in trouble a few times by talking and not paying attention to who's listening, but Sellers gets his sign, comes set, fires the catcher. Layton sort of with a half swing, makes the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Glenn on first base. Glenn running for the pitcher. Here's a 1-1, and Layton swings through a fastball. Sellers has gotten ahead 0-2. Excuse me, 1-2.
Coach, I believe you got Levi Knight in the bullpen warming up for Locust Grove right now.
And, Coach, I'm sorry I don't have a pitch count for Sellers, but I know it's got to be getting up there quite high. And here's the 1-2 pitch by Sellers. It's in the dirt. Nice block by the catcher, Josh Patton. Our statistician, JT, says he's in the upper 70s. And, Coach, it's not always the pitch count that kills you. It's sometimes how you get to that pitch count. He's had to work some innings. Layton takes the 1-2 and hits a chopper to shortstop, and Dalton will take it and touch second base himself, and that'll do it for Redan here in the top of the 5th. They have no runs. They have 1 hit. There were no errors. 1 runner left on base, and we will head to the bottom of the 5th. Redan 8, Locust Grove 0. He has hit 3 balls to the shortstop.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
I don't know.
He's off for Locust Grove. Dalton batted last, didn't he?
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. Oh, we're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Leading off the bottom of the 5th for Locust Grove, the right fielder, number 10, Tyler Duncan.
Welcome back to Locust Grove as we start off the bottom of the 5th. For Locust Grove, it'll be number 10, the right fielder, Tyler Duncan. Duncan with the fly ball to center field, his first at bat. Duncan takes the first pitch across the plate for strike 1. There's strike 2 on Duncan. We'd like to give a shout out this time to one of our sponsors, Miss Lisa Lee, for Game On Trophies.
One of the best in the business, Coach.
Coach, she's having to work hard, but able to catch us on Game On Sports. Tyler hits a swinging bunt towards third. Nice play by the third baseman, Williams, who just couldn't quite come up with the handle the first time, and Tyler beats it out. We'll give him a infield single. That'll bring to the plate the catcher, Josh Patton.
Number 11, Josh Patton.
Game On Trophy supplying all the Wildcat trophy needs.
And, Coach, I can tell you from personal experience, Lisa Lee and Game On Trophies does a great job. We get all of our plaques there for basketball, and there is none no better in the business. And the prices are good also. So if you need a trophy, Coach, anything, Game On Trophies, contact Lisa Lee. She'll be happy to serve.
Well, Coach, you know, when you treat people right and you give them a good product, they keep coming back to you. Josh Patton takes the 1-0 pitch down the middle, evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Patton with a fly ball to center field his first time up. Patton bailing on that pitch, Coach.
That was a great breaking ball, Coach.
Patton takes a 2-1 pitch, fouls it over the first base side, and that'll even the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Coach, also give a shout out to one of our other sponsors, Bo's Barbecue. And I tell you, Bo's Barbecue, one of the best in the business also.
Two pitches, mighty close. The catcher held it there for a while, and that'll make the count full on Josh Patton. Josh Patton hits a fly ball to fairly deep left field. Ooh. Bakari Gale drifts back, makes the catch. That'll be out number 1 for Locust Grove here in the bottom of the 5th. Tyler Duncan returns to first base, and that'll bring up to the plate the leadoff batter, Cortez McDowell. Cortez, who's been on base twice so far today, has been unable to score. Cortez takes the first pitch for a called strike. Here's the 0-1. Cortez swings and misses. Tyler Duncan goes into second base on the steal. The throw was high. Not sure if it was a hit and run or straight steal. Regardless, Cortez is behind in the count 0-2, and Duncan moves up to second base. Coach, we're 8-0, bottom of the 5th. Wildcats down. Runner on second, 1 out. Cortez calls time. Cortez is set. Dorsey with the pitch.
Nobody to cover first, Coach? Yes, he was.
Oh. Cortez hits a high chopper between first and second, and the pitcher tried to get over there, but the throw was just wide. And, Coach, there's that speed again. Cortez will give him an infield single. It's hard to give an error when speed just beats you.
The second baseman, number 7, Josh Fellows.
That'll bring the second baseman, Josh Fellows, to the plate. Josh with the sacrifice bunt and a ground ball to third, his previous at bat. Locust Grove first and third, 1 out.
Could have something going here, Coach.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Cortez take off. He took off earlier when he was on. If you're Redan, you're probably just going to be working on the batter. Keep him out of a big inning. And they throw over to first real quick. Cortez back standing. And, Coach, back to our sponsors, Bo's Barbecue. You're all right, Coach. That's some good barbecue. Here's the pitch, and they'll let Cortez have second base.
I don't know, Coach, they let him have it if he was almost there when they got it.
Either way, Locust Grove had second and third. Josh Fellows up at the plate with a one-ball count. And here's the pitch by Dorsey. And the 1-0 is inside, and it's 2-0, and Locust Grove has the making of something brewing right here in the bottom of the fifth. And there's a 2-0 strike by the Redan pitcher Dorsey. Makes the count 2-1 on the Locust Grove second baseman Josh Fellows.
And, Coach, if you look at Fellows, you would think he's not a very strong person, but a powerful hitter. Powerful hitter. He already has home run on the season.
Small guy, makes everything is compact, generates a lot of speed out of that compact swing. Takes a 2-1 pitch inside, makes the count 3-1. And on deck is the pitcher for Locust Grove, number 3, Tyler Sellers. The 3-1 pitch. Fellows fouls off down past first base, sort of an excuse me swing, but regardless, that makes the count 3-2 on the Locust Grove second baseman. And we got a delay in the game because Coach nobody got the foul ball. There goes a Redan player down to retrieve it, get it out of play. And we're set to go, and here comes Dorsey. Gets a sign from the full windup, kicks and fires. And there's a 3-2 curveball buried on his back foot, and Fellows swings over the top, and that'll be out number 2 for Locust Grove here in the bottom of the fifth.
Your batter, the pitcher, number 3, Tyler Sellers.
That'll bring to the plate Tyler Sellers for Locust Grove. Tyler 0 for 1 with a walk on the day. Chance to help himself out, give him some runs on the board. Tyler's pitched a good game, just hadn't had much help behind him defensively. Locust Grove with 6 errors on the night.
And, Coach, mentally, how does that play into you as a pitcher right there?
It's tough, Coach, and here's the 1-0 pitch, and it makes it 2-0. It's tough, Coach, when you play a good team and you got to use everything you got mentally against a good team, and then you start giving them extra outs, and it gets to the point it just wears you down.
And I know the one thing that you have to do, you just have to keep having confidence in your defense to make the plays. And,
yeah,
you know, as we always say, control the things you can control, and the things you can't control, you just got to leave them alone and not worry about it.
And, Coach, we talked about his pitch count. And these are the games where your pitch count may not be as high, but you tire easier just because of the mental wear you've had. Because it takes a lot to keep the confidence in your team. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Sellers. It's outside, and it's 3-0.
Coach, I believe you was talking about earlier, Redan has 2 strikeouts, or 3 strikeouts now, and Locust Grove Redan has 2 strikeouts, and Locust Grove has 3 strikeouts.
3 strikeouts. Been a lot of contact and a lot of pitches as Sellers walks on 4 straight, and that's going to bring out the coach from Redan to come and visit Dorsey, who has an 8-run lead but has struggled throwing some strikes here. And Coach, we're going to step away for a minute and let the Redan coach in the infield talk it out, and we'll be back in just a minute on the Locust Grove TV network. I just need to put it down. Tell you what, I'm looking forward to a barbecue sandwich.
You got any down there?
Huh?
You got any down there?
Yeah. Cheryl told me you came early today.
Hey, text Cheryl, ask her if she brings 3 up.
No, I got to go down there. I got a big, I got slobber and some sauce.
Ask her to bring some sauce up here.
I'm picky. I still got sauce at home for my softball bag. All right, we're back to Locust Grove. John Shoemaker, the batter. Shoemaker takes the ball down and in. Nice stop by the catcher, Tyler Layton.
One thing about it right here, Coach, you don't want to try to get them all back at one time, but if you can piece it together little by little, we'll take it.
Shoemaker, a guy who can get half of them back in one swing. Shoemaker 0 for 2 on the day, but takes the first 2 pitches for balls and is quickly ahead 2-0.
And I think this is where Shoemaker works the best, when he's ahead.
The 2-0 is outside, and that'll make the count 3-0. And the Redan bench is stirring as they're sending somebody down to the bullpen. The 3-0 to Shoemaker is a called strike, and that'll make the count 3-1. In the bullpen for Redan is number 12, Darian Olsby. Here's the 3-1 on Shoemaker. Shoemaker sends the fly ball down the right field side. And the right fielder runs into the fence. Ken Elder, who made a great effort, but Coach, he hit that fence hard.
He did hit it hard, and the thing about it is his size right there, it means that he's going to hit right underneath the chin on about the crossbar across of it right there.
Well, Coach, we're going to step away and let the proper people give them a look down the right field line, and we'll be back here in just a few minutes.
He did hit it hard.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
Welcome back, and we want to give a shout-out to Ken Elder, who had gotten up and has returned into right field. It looks like he's going to be okay, and then just as we say that, the coaches are going to go out and check on him one more time. Coach, we're 3-2 at the plate. Bases loaded, which means everybody will get to start running around.
Coach, it looked like from what I can see from here is he's looking at his elbow.
And run into a chain link fence. And whatever hits, it's going to hurt. And
well, especially the momentum he had going into it.
The umpire's out there. Obviously, there's no blood, or else we'd have had to bring him off the field and get that taken care of. But here's hoping the young man's all right and we can get back to playing some baseball.
And, you know, Coach, it'd be great if high schools could afford to put padding around all over the fence and all that. But, you know, people have to understand that high school budgets are very, very limited. And what you can do with what you have is, you know, it's kind of tough to do. You do the best you can and just hope everything comes out.
And, Coach, we're fortunate that we have a lot that was here when the school was built. A nice park, but you're right. There's a lot you can't do.
And this is one thing we mentioned in the soccer broadcast the other day that, you know, you sit here as he gets set to deliver is, you know, we have facilities, and the only thing we basically have to buy is equipment and basically balls.
Here's the payoff pitch to Shoemaker, and the pitch is outside, and that'll bring Tyler Duncan in to score the first round for Locust Grove here in the bottom of the fifth. And that'll make the score 8-1, and it'll bring to the plate Jordan Hartman.
Your batter, number 21, the left fielder, Jordan Hartman.
That'll be an RBI walk for Shoemaker. And this will be a nice time for Hartman, who's had a walk and a strikeout, to come through with a big clutch hit.
Strong kid, and let's see what he can do with this right here. It's going to be a foul ball, Coach.
And, Coach, I'm not sure why he squared and bunted a ball with 2 outs and the bases loaded, and the catcher came up with it, and luckily for Locust Grove it was foul because all he had to do was step on home plate, and that would have been the inning. But
and you know what, Coach, one thing that you look at right here is, you know, maybe you got mixed up on the signs and everything, and a lot of people look at the coach, well, why did you make this decision? Sometimes it's just miscommunication from on the batter's behalf.
And there's an 0-1 curveball, and Jordan's quickly behind the count 0-2. Here's Dorsey with the 0-2 pitch. Curveball off the outside corner. Jordan swings through, and that'll do it for Locust Grove here in the bottom of the 5th. Locust Grove able to get one run across on the bases loaded walk, but we'll head to the 6th. Redan 8, Locust Grove 1.
Who you got coming up? Tyler Lakin, catcher.
No, top of the order. He struck out last inning. Or ground ball to shortstop last inning.
Leading off the top of the 6th inning for Redan will be the center fielder, number 1, Joey Graves.
All right, welcome back to Locust Grove. We start the top of the 6th. Redan with an 8-1 lead. Leading off for Redan will be the center fielder, number 8, Joey Graves. Graves 0 for 3 on the day. Takes the first pitch upstairs for a ball. Graves with a ground ball to second, a fly ball to center, and then reached on an error, trying to bunt his way on his third at bat. Levi Knight still getting him loose in the bullpen. Tyler Sellers back out. 1-0 pitch is upstairs, makes the count 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch. It's in the dirt, 3-0. And, Coach, you got to think Sellers is not going to be out there much longer, down 8-1 and falling behind 3-0 if he can't start throwing strikes.
There's one thing about it, Coach. You don't want to put the leadoff batter on base.
Here's the 3-0 pitch. And there's a called strike, and that'll make the count 3-1. And, Coach, this is not just the leadoff batter of the inning. This is the leadoff batter for Redan themselves, who's very, very fast. Made some great plays in center field so far today. Tyler comes set. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Graves takes it. Makes the count 3-2. Looked like he might have been taken all the way.
I believe he was taken off to first before the umpire made the call.
Graves gets back in. Sellers comes set. Kicks and fires, a 3-2. There's a high chopper at first. Drew Young slides over, makes a play, takes the ball himself, and then throws it out to left field. But that'll retire Graves.
Now batting for Redan, number 9, James Nelson, the second baseman.
And that'll bring James Nelson, the second baseman, to the plate. Nelson himself is 0 for 3 on the day. So, Coach, the first two batters in the Redan order haven't got a hit. Nelson, who's hit the ball everywhere. He's hit a fly ball to left, a fly ball to right, hit a ground ball towards second.
And Coach Randy Lee will be joining you shortly. I want to thank you right now for the opportunity you've given me to join you here for a little while.
Nelson fouls the next pitch down the right field side, out of play. And Coach, I appreciate you coming up here. It gets lonely.
It's hard to find it's hard to find a lot to talk about when you're by yourself, isn't it?
It is. You know, but I appreciate your time.
80 minutes of soccer, Coach. You learn to talk a lot.
You do. and before we let you go, Coach Lee, before Coach Lee gets up here, and real quick, Nelson takes a hanging curveball and he belts it towards the left center field gap. And Nelson will have a stand-up double. Coach, real quick, busy summer this with the girls basketball?
Coach, right now it looks like about 37 games in 30 days. And that's the only way you're going to get better. Just keep playing.
Well, Coach Shook's here with us for a little bit longer, but one of the hardest working people in the school, and definitely one of the hardest working coaches in the school that does everything he can to help the team he's in charge of get better each and every time he can.
Well, I appreciate that, Coach. And the one thing you got to give kudos out, though, is for the administration staff and the athletic director we have, as we see right there. That's going to be a double hit by number 17 right there. Wesley Jones as the run scores.
And as Jones hits an RBI double towards the right center field gap, here comes Coach Phillips out to the mound.
Your batter, number 11, the first baseman, Brandon Baker.
Coach Phillips is going to get the ball from Sellers, and that looks like number 23, Levi Knight, will come in out of the bullpen. And as Levi comes in to make his warm-up pitches, we will step away for just a minute.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot.
Here he is. Man. How many? We're good.
We made it, man.
Here you go, Coach Lee.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/.
They read it before the game. He's down there with the Army people, and we're sitting up here saying what? And he's like, oh, take this up there so they can read it.
Welcome back to Locust Grove. The new pitcher for Locust Grove will be number 23, Levi Knight. Levi comes into the game for Jordan Hartman. Tyler Sellers moves over to first base. Drew Young moves out to left field. Redan with a 9-1 lead. Coming to the plate for Redan will be number 11, the first baseman, Baker. Baker 2 for 2 on the day, 4 RBIs. Wesley Jones on the shortstop on second. Levi, 3/4 sidearm, throwing righty. And Baker's going to roll over one to the second base.
Your batter, the third baseman, number 15, Trey Williams.
That'll bring to the plate number 15, Trey Williams. Jones moves over to third on the ground ball, and we'll take this time to welcome Coach Lee to the booth.
Thank you, Coach. I've been out there at football practice. I'm sorry I was late. Maybe I can give you a little hand in here. I don't like the scoreboard the way it looks right now, but maybe I can bring them a little luck.
First pitch from Levi to the third baseman is a strike. Coach, it's been one of those games. Locust Grove's got 6 errors on today.
Wow. They've played pretty solid defense coming into this game, but then again, a lot of balls haven't been put in play either.
You're right. Levi, the next pitch is a ball that's going to get away from the catcher, and that's going to bring Jones home and make the score 10-1 Redan. Coach, hadn't been a lot of strikeouts. Redan has struck out twice all game.
Wow.
Put the ball in play, gone the other way, done a great job at the plate, but Locust Grove surely has not helped themselves. And Locust Grove has had base runners. They just hadn't been able to get a hit. They've had second and third, first and third. They've had times where they had chances. Last season they had bases loaded, walked a guy in. That's how they scored a run on the bases loaded walk.
You know, Redan is notoriously a good hitting baseball team anyway. You know, for years they've always had a team that they're definitely going to hit the baseball. So they had to, you know, Locust Grove perspective, they had to know coming in that this team was going to hit the ball and be prepared for that. And I guess they got it.
Levi, the 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed by Williams. Count moves to 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch catches the outside corner, and that'll do it for Williams, but not before Redan scores two more in the top of the sixth. They had 2 hits. Nobody left on base, no errors. We'll head to the bottom of the sixth. Redan 10, Locust Grove 1.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
Third inning, hit by pitch K, another 0-2 pitch, triple down the right field line. Look at this guy.
Struck out 3 times.
E6. There's an E6 up here somewhere on one of these hits. It was one in the hole. It would have been infield single. Dalton kicked it to the left field, and that it was gone first. He wouldn't have got anybody out. He kicked to the left field at first and third.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
Leading off the bottom of the sixth for Locust Grove, number 6, the first baseman, Drew Young.
Who's pitching?
It was Dorsey. Now it's new guy, Darian Oldsby.
Yeah, there.
We back.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back. Locust Grove is welcome back to Locust Grove as we start the bottom of the sixth. Leading off for Locust Grove will be the left fielder, Drew Young. Drew 0 for 2 on the day. New pitcher for Redan is number 12, Darian Oldsby. For Redan starter, Cordarius Dorsey. Dorsey went 5 complete innings, gave up 1 run, struck out 3.
A lot of these kids from this Redan program should be familiar to some of our kids. They played them in travel ball for years growing up. And Darian Oldsby is one of the kids that I coached in when he was 10, and he's always been a kid that throws a lot of strikes, stays around the zone. He's going to be effective.
Big kid, right-hander. Holds his hands up high, has a big high leg kick, but looks like he comes downhill and throws it pretty hard. And Drew Young slaps a single into right field. And good start to the Locust Grove bottom half of the sixth inning. The problem is they're down 10-1. They need a lot of those.
Well, this group should be familiar with being down 10-1 in a playoff series. For most of them, they fought back last year in that Cross Creek series down by 9 with 2 innings left. Let's see what they can do tonight.
That brings Dalton Coons to the plate. Dalton 0 for 2 on the day. Flied out to right field his first at bat. Struck out his second at bat. Oldsby starts Dalton off with the first pitch fastball strike. curveball to Dalton, fouls it off the third base side. And, Coach, we might as well say that the pitcher, Dorsey, has moved over to first base. Baker, number 11, we have to assume has been put on the bench. They don't tell us all the changes.
Well, he's probably going to be – he's in there resting for game 2. He's really their ace, Baker is. He's mid-90s. He can bring it. So I'm sure they're resting him, getting him ready for game 2.
And Dorsey catches the outside corner on an 0-2 pitch, and Dalton, who's having a tough night, will sit down with his second strikeout of the day.
Now batting number 10, Tyler Duncan.
That'll bring Tyler Duncan to the plate. Duncan with the fly ball to center field and a single.
One thing I've noticed about Redan, they don't move around very much defensively. They don't make a whole lot of changes. They're play everybody, from what I've seen so far, straight away. So,
Coach, they're straight away. They get the ball on the mound. They get a sign. They come to the plate. They play fast. And so far, everything we've seen, they play fundamental. First pitch to Duncan is a called strike, and Duncan's behind in the count 0-1.
Well, my scouting report hadn't changed from him since he was 10. He's still going to throw a lot of strikes.
And, Coach, with a 10-1 lead,
that's what
you're supposed to do. You're
exactly
right. The 0-1 pitch is a curveball across the middle of the plate and makes the count 0-2. It's hard to throw in. It may be considered more of a slider.
You know, basically the difference between sliders, it's going to be a breaking ball that stays more in plane than a curveball where the bottom's going to fall out of it. People don't really understand the difference.
And that's a great 0-2 pitch right there. It was called a ball, a good hard fastball, about 3 or 4 inches off the outside corner. The umpire in the field is calling time. Nobody paid attention to him, so we're just going to play ball. 1-2 is a curveball that stays upstairs. Evens the count 2-2 on Tyler Duncan.
I think that's the first time he's missed his spot. Catcher was looking for something away and down, and he missed it up and away, so he knew it.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. Fastball catches the outside corner, and Duncan will go down looking.
Pitch looked like it might have been a little low.
Looked a little low. You're right, Coach. And some of the fans over here in Locust Grove side let the umpire know they didn't like it, but that's the way baseball is. The umpire called it a strike. It was a strike.
When you're around the plate, you're going to get strikes.
Now bring Josh Patton to the plate. Josh has flied out twice in the game. Josh takes the pitch on the inside part of the plate. We're going to ask for some help down there, and they're going to say check the swing.
Coach, I did notice walking up, there's 4 or 5 Major League scouts down there. I think the White Sox were down there. I saw somebody from the Mariners walking in. So there's some talent represented here. And so I'm sure they're here looking at both teams and seeing if they can find something to solidify themselves later on down the line.
Coach, there's a couple of college football guys here. I'm not partial or nothing, but there's some guys from Athens over here.
Oh, there is. Coach Lacos, is he here?
I believe it's Coach Lacos. Coach Grantham's down there. So
I think they're here for looking at Cortez.
2-0 pitch to Josh Patton is across for a strike, and that makes the count 2-1. Well, if he needs my help, I'll let him know what I think of Cortez. If he needs my help in the film room, he needs to be fired. 2-1 to Patton. Patton hits a ground ball out to the second baseman, an easy flip to first, and that'll do it for Locust Grove here in the bottom of the 6th. Locust Grove, no runs, 1 hit. No errors, 1 left. And we'll head to the 7th in game 1. Redan 10, Locust Grove 1.
point.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
You got that true.
All right, let's go on.
Welcome back to Locust Grove as we start the top of the 7th in game 1 of the 3rd round of the region state baseball playoffs. Leading off for Redan will be the left fielder number 2, Gale. Gale 1 for 2 on the day with the single. Pop up and the base on ball takes the first pitch across for a strike. Levi Knight back out pitching for Locust Grove here in the top of the 7th. The 0-1 by Levi is down in the dirt, makes the count 1-1. Levi gets a sign. Wines delivers. 1-1 pitches. Called a strike across the outside corner, makes the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Just as a reminder real quick that 30 minutes following game 1, we will bring you game 2. Levi gets his sign. Ground ball hit towards Tyler at first base.
Played a little Olay on that.
A little Roger Dorn right there. And Gale will be down at first base. And
Designated hitter, number 8, Miles Ford.
Coach, what do you think? Hit error?
Oh, it's definitely an error. I mean, it was hit right at him, and he kind of Olayed it off to the side. And I know he didn't get a glove on it, but
yeah. Sometimes you don't get a glove on it because you're afraid to try to get a glove on it.
That's what that was.
So that'll bring up the designated hitter 4. 2 for 3 on the day. 4 RBIs. Great game in the DH's spot. First pitch from Levi swung on and missed.
Swings at a bad pitch. Levi can be very effective when he delivers the ball from the right spot. You know, he drops down that 3/4, and when he does that, and the ball tails away from right-handed hitters, he can be effective. But when he gets over the top and the ball stays flat, that's when he tends to get himself in trouble. Right now, they can't afford any more runs. They can't afford to give anything else up. They've got to stop it right here to give them any kind of shot, I think.
Down 10-1. Yeah, you're already down 9, Coach. You can't give up anything else. But that's been the story of the game. Is what we saw. Is first batter hits the ground ball, could have been an out. Instead, you got a guy on first, no outs, and you're 0-2 on 4. But Coach Ford has a single and a triple and 4 RBIs on 0-2 counts tonight. So
I don't think 2 strikes doesn't matter to him. That's why they give him 3. I guess that's what his philosophy is.
Levi looks in, gets a sign. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And what do you know?
Once again, delivers.
4 base hit into left field.
Not real sure where we're throwing the baseball right there. Threw the ball to the pitcher for some reason, but
Number 6, the first baseman.
right now it doesn't look like Locust Grove players are in it mentally from what I can tell just in the short time I've been here.
There comes a time where I think you just play to get to the end of the game instead of winning the game, and this looks like this might be one of those days for Locust Grove. That brings up the first baseman, Dorsey. Dorsey, the starting pitcher for Redan takes the first pitch strike. Dorsey 1 for 3 on the day.
I kind of have a different philosophy there, Coach. I feel like if there's 3 outs still left on the board, you got a chance to win, and you play every out like it's an opportunity to be a game-winning play. But that's just my opinion.
You right, Coach. Dorsey on the day, to give you a recap, had 1, 2, 3, had 4 strikeouts while he was pitching. 3 base on balls. Gave up 1 run over 6 innings. Did a good job. Takes a 1-1 pitch outside. Makes the count 2-1.
Locust Grove needs a double play right here. Needs a little ground ball, second base, shortstop, something like that. Get him to roll over the top of something.
Dorsey fouls off the
fought off a good pitch.
And Coach, you know, I noticed that the corners are both up. It's a 10-1 game, and I just don't believe that Redan's going to be bumped, especially with 2-2.
I agree with that.
Give yourself some range. We need outs right here.
Yep.
Redan's not moving people over.
No runner at third. Now, I don't understand this defensive setup either, but.
Levi comes set. Here's a 2-2 pitch. And there's a base hit right up the middle. Cortez McDowell comes up, makes the throw, and
did a good job hitting the cutoff man there. But I think Redan was just I don't think he was Cadillac into third base right there. I don't think he was trying to score right there for some crazy reason. But Cortez did make a nice play coming up on the ball, making a good throw.
And Coach, this is one of those times where if you're Locust Grove, like you just said, you got a lot of baseball left to play tonight. You can't quit playing right now. You know, right there, Levi gave up the hit, then stood behind the mound. You know, he's got a job to back up home plate.
You're right. You're exactly right. Spectating, and, you know, from his standpoint, he's a kid that, you know, his time that he sees normally is in relief, so he's accustomed to coming in with guys on base. He should know what his job is.
In, you know, 10-1, maybe you can't score 9 runs, but if you can make something good happen in the 7th inning, you can carry over some momentum to game 2. Number 16, Layton, comes up and hits a fly ball in the shallow right field. Duncan will come up, and there'll be no tag. That'll be the first out of the inning for Redan.
It's a big out. Big out for Levi right there, getting a little routine short fly ball.
The center fielder, Jody Gray.
Now here'll be a good opportunity for a little comeback or one hopper right back to the mound, see if you can get out of this inning.
That brings the leadoff batter, Graves, to the plate. Graves 0 for 4 on the day. Graves with a nice diving catch early in the game for Redan.
I think that had something to do. Mary Persons last week, they were out of it in the first game and then fought back and got some momentum in game 1, and they kind of carried it over to game 2, which in turn allowed them to take game 2 victory and keep them in the series. So I definitely agree with that philosophy.
First pitch to Graves is outside, makes the count 1-0. Bases loaded for Redan, nowhere to put him. One 0 pitch, catches the outside corner and evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike.
That's the spot where Levi's effective. When he can pitch right there, he's effective. It's when he gets up in the zone and gets out over the middle of the plate when he seems to find himself in trouble.
Levi with something off speed, nice pitch. Graves swings over the top, makes the count 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Looked like a breaking ball from up here. You don't see a lot of that from him, but it's a good pitch.
Levi looks in, gets a sign, comes set. 1-2 pitch is lifted into left field. Drew Young's coming up, getting behind it. Runner at third's going to tag. Throw is up the line, and Redan will add another run, make the score 11-1. Number 2, Gale, comes in from third.
Throw was way up the line, didn't even give himself a chance. I feel like if the throw would have been on the plate, you could have got an out right there. It was in shallow left field. It wasn't that deep, and I probably should have. how to play at the plate, but not when you throw it 20 feet up the line and don't give your catcher a chance to make a play.
Coach, I'm not real sure who's going to be pitching game 2, but if Drew is going to be pitching game 2, I believe I may have put him on the bench right now, give him a little break.
Kind of similar to what I think Redan is doing at this time.
Not throw your arm out on a play like that.
Right.
Nelson comes up and hits a lazy fly ball to right field that Duncan gets underneath, and that'll do it for Redan in the top of the 7th. But they add one more to their lead, and we'll go to the bottom of the 7th here in game 1. Redan 11, Locust Grove 1.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
Welcome back to Locust Grove as we start the bottom of the 7th. Redan with an 11-1 lead. Locust Grove has the top of the order up. Cortez McDowell. Cortez 2 for 3 on the day.
For Locust Grove at the bottom of the 7th, number 20, the center fielder, Cortez McDowell.
Well, you got the top of the lineup here for the Wildcats, so that if they're going to pick a time to start to go, now's the time. And you got top of the lineup going, and Cortez has been hot throughout the playoffs. Maybe you can keep it going right here, start a little rally up, and see if the Wildcats, even if they don't come back, get something positive going that they can take into game 2.
You're right, Coach. Cortez has been on fire. 2 more hits tonight, been on base all 3 times. 2 more stolen bases. He takes the first pitch across the outside corner for a strike. The issue is, besides Cortez's 2 hits, there's only been 1 more hit throughout the game. Excuse me, 2 more hits in this game. Locust Grove with only 4 hits. Cortez has 2 of them.
It's hard to score when you only got 4 hits.
The 0-1 pitch, Cortez fouls it off the right side.
Heads up down there in that dugout. I think it got some of the fence, so they'll be all right.
Makes the count 0-2 on the Locust Grove leadoff batter. Oldsby kicks and fires and swings through the 0-2 pitch, and for the first time tonight, he'll be retired. That'll bring to the plate number 7, second baseman Josh Fellows. We see the first mistake made by Redan.
Josh Fellows.
Threw the ball past the third baseman, throwing it down after a strikeout.
I talked to Coach Phillips the other day, and I told him, I said, the scouting report I got, I talked to a guy that helps at Parkview, who also is in the state playoffs and up there around this area, coached a lot of these kids, and he said they're going to be very sound fundamentally. He said they, had one crazy game. Go ahead. Fellows, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Fellows ground ball to the second baseman. That'll be 2 outs for Locust Grove in the bottom of the 7th, and bring Tyler Sellers up to the plate.
So anyway, he said that they're going to be very sound defensively. Against Columbus, they had 1 bad game defensively, and they made 5 errors and still recovered to win the game. And when you beat Columbus with 5 errors defensively, you're doing something right.
You're doing something right. You're right, Coach. And then the fact they had to beat Columbus, then Columbus it's a tough place to go. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. The last hope for Locust Grove is Tyler Sellers, who takes the first pitch strike. Tyler 0 for 1 on the day with 2 base on balls. Tyler swings at the next pitch, misses 0-2. Tyler, who didn't necessarily pitch awful, gave up three unearned runs in the first. Just had some trouble with the defense behind him, and Redan's just too good to give a lot of help to. And there's the 0-2 pitch, and call strike 3, and that'll do it for game 1. Redan 11, Locust Grove 1. We'll be back in about 30 minutes for game 2.
Second game will start in approximately 30 minutes from this time.
Yep. All right, Coach. Yep, that's what we'll do. So that'll do it from Locust Grove High School, and we'll be back with game 2 right after each team takes a break. We'll swap. They'll stay in the same dugout, but they'll flip-flop home and visitor, and we'll be right back with game 2 on the Locust Grove Wildcat Network.